Hey everybody, this is Valerie. Today we are going to talk about this tab all the way at the bottom of your CRM account, and it says reporting. I'm refreshing my screen real quick so we can get a good view. Under reporting, there are several tabs at the top. Today we're going to focus on call reporting. I would just give a brief of these Google Ads. If you have a Google Ads campaign with us, you will be able to see Google Ads campaign information here, but I will tell you that it's harder. I don't think it's real intuitive, so we need to go through it together perhaps, or just use regular Google Ads to view your Google Ads reporting. Facebook ads, same thing. If you have Facebook ads running through us, you should be able to see your Facebook ads information in here. Attribution report is seeing where things came from. So how many people came in from Facebook, how many came in from Google, how many came in from your website. So attribution reporting is there. I would suggest that all of these need their own video, and you may need to go over that with me if you're not sure what each of them mean. We're going to talk about call reporting today, agent reporting. If you have staff that are actually using the CRM and doing a really good job with it, and they're communicating with people through it, if you click on agent reporting, you'll be able to see how many of each thing they've been doing, how many emails, how many phone calls. So you can switch to whoever you want, hit fetch, and then you can kind of get an idea. This is mainly for sales and marketing. So if you have a salesperson who is using the CRM to its full advantage, then you would want to use agent reporting. Appointment report, if you are marking people as showed, no showed, etc., then you will be able to see all of those people in here and what happened with their appointment. This is really important for recruiting. All right, so let's get to call reporting. Inside of call reporting, the first thing to know is that not every call is worth listening to. If you're using a tracked and recorded line through us, you can listen to every phone call that comes in through that phone number. For Google Ads, if you have a Google ad running and we are using a tracked and recorded line, which we should be, we don't do that without a tracked and recorded line, and you should be using that too if you're using Google Ads through someone else, then you're going to want to listen to those calls, see how they went, and mark them as a lead or whatever you need to do. If you have a tracked and recorded line on your website, this is a place where you're going to want to go and listen to the calls that come in from your website. You will already know if you are using a tracked and recorded line for anything. You will already have this information, and you will already know it before you watch this video. This video showing you what you should focus on versus what you should not watch, and kind of how to change things around. So the first thing to know is this shows answered versus missed calls. Now we're looking at my data. We get a ton of spam calls, and I pretty much let everything go to voicemail because of that. It's not a reflection on any one specific person, but this is not typical. Usually there's 4 or 5 missed calls and the rest are answered, but you're looking at my stuff. So we're looking at all calls here. You might see that you have different options. So if we go just to ASN marketing, we can see that changes, the numbers change just a little bit. So if you have recruiting and Google Ads and a few other things here, you want to change to the one that you are most interested in seeing. You're probably not as interested in seeing recruiting, people calling in from recruiting, as you are in your ads. So this is the one your Google Ads, or however they're labeled, is the one you want to switch to. You also want to take a look at the dates. You want to look at the last 30 days. Sometimes this defaults to the last 2 weeks or the last 7 days. And you may think, why is there only 2 phone calls in here? Well, if you're only looking at the last 7 days, that might be why. So make sure these dates are the way you want them. Here's another thing that's important, and that's filters. You may not need to use these, but typically I only want to see calls that are, 90 seconds. Let's do 180 seconds. So that's, like 3 minutes or more. And then I'm going to hit update. And when I do that, it's going to take out, for me, it takes out everybody because most of them are spam, but it's going to take out any calls that are under 3 minutes. So we're going to take that out, update the filter, and now we can see all of them. Okay, so Once you have it set the way you want to look at it, you can scroll down here and you can see all the calls that have come in. You can see right here whether or not it was answered and whether or not this was the first time that person called. You can see the phone number they called from. You will not, the system doesn't know their name necessarily. It might pick it up from some other reason if they've called before, but it's not going to know their name. And you can see a lot of mine say not found or deleted. It's because I delete tons of spam out of here all the time. So mine might look different than yours. If they do have a name, it's because either someone entered the name in or the person has called before or they filled out a form before and it recognizes their phone number. All right. So that is why some of these say unknown. If it says unknown and you want to add a name to it, the first thing I would do, and you would not listen to a 9-second call, but I would hit this little down arrow. I would listen to the call by hitting play. And once I got the information I needed, I would write it down on a piece of paper or whatever, take some notes, and then I would go to unknown and I would change the name to whatever they said their name was, whatever I could understand. If you don't have a last name, that's okay. You've already got their phone number. And then I'm going to hit save. And then if I need to tag them with something like, just something like a, inquiry or whatever tags you have in your system. If you start typing, anything you have in here will kind of show up in a drop down. So you can tag them. You can also put in a note. So if I want to put in a note, I'm going to hit notes, add new, and I'll put in this as a test and hit save. Now, if I wanted this person to get a return call, I would put in a task and I would add new and I would say test and I would say, Bob, please call this lead. Now, remember, this is only going to help you if you're using tasks inside the system. And I'm going to assign it to Bob Costello, and I'm going to say what the due date is. I can change that to whatever, and then I'm going to hit save. And once I hit save, this is going to show up in Bob's task list. If he's following his task list, he will see that he needs to follow up with test and give them a call. Maybe listen to their phone number. You can put whatever other notes. If you have other notes, you can copy and paste them into here and hit save. And this will show up in Bob's task list. If you are not using tasks or that other person is not using tasks in here and not looking at this every day, this is not going to help you. But it definitely helps you, and I'm not going to save this. We're going to cancel this. It definitely helps you to have notes in here so that the next time this person calls, there is a recording or some kind of notes that tells you what happened to that person. Okay, so to look at call reporting, we're going to say we're on their dashboard. We're going to go down here to reporting. We're going to go to call reporting. We're going to make sure we're looking at the right phone number. We're going to make sure we're looking at the right set of dates. I recommend the last 30 days. And we're going to make sure that if we need to add any filters, like I only want to see over 60 seconds or over 3 minutes, we're putting in the number of seconds here. And then we're scrolling down and we're hitting the down button and listening to each call. And then we're clicking on unknown. You can see now my guy is test. We're going to click on them after we've listened to them, and we're going to add in whatever information we have. If they are a spam call, then we can delete them. The way we do that is to go to contacts. Here's what I do anyway. If I see a phone number like this one that I use test, and it has no information in it, and I have looked at this and I see that it's only a 9-second phone call, I delete them. So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to look at sorry. You have to look at them before you try to start deleting stuff. Okay, we also have automatic text back. So you can have us turn this on if you want. So if somebody calls and they hang up, or they call and no one answers, the system will text them back if you want it to and say, hey, sorry we missed your call. So I'm deleting this one, I'm deleting this one, I'm deleting this one, I'm deleting this one, because I'm pretty sure that there is nothing to any of these. These are all spam. Let's just make sure. See, there's nothing here. So delete. Oh, I know this is spam. Delete, delete, and delete, delete. So we're just going to click those, and then we're going to delete them out of our system and get them out of our life. And in a minute, this will all disappear. Okay, so that is how you read reporting, call reporting. Listen to every phone call over a certain number of seconds. Make sure you're putting in the names of the people, and make sure you're looking at the right phone numbers, and make sure you're looking at the right dates. Thanks. Bye.